Hey, from World Entertainment, and it looks like Aquaman 2 is in more chaos, as it's been reported now that Ben Affleck's cameo is cut from the movie, and it's reportedly cut from none other than James Gunn himself. But that's not all. We now know for a fact that the movie is undergoing once again reshoots. And not just that. Because of the reshoots, we are now told that this movie could be getting delayed again to 2024. Wow. So let's start with the delay, because it's not just Aquaman that Warner Brothers is looking to delay. One of them makes sense. This one just confirms that this movie's a disaster. So following today's report, which was yesterday, about James Wan's Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom undergoing a third round of reshoots, we're hearing that Warner Brothers Discovery may ultimately decide to push the DC Comics sequel back to next year, along with several other upcoming movies. So right there, you're being told they want to delay it now because of the reshoots. Because, of course, they can't film with the strikes. The actors' strikes, obviously, so they're not going to be on sets. And the writer's strike, which means you can't have anyone who was involved with the script on set. Which means James Wan couldn't be on set. What a disaster. The other problem with some of the movies getting delayed is one of them is Dune Part 2. They're looking at that could get pushed back. That one is the one that makes sense because you know Denis Villeneuve and the cast would want to promote that properly. And because of the actor strike, they can't do that. So that makes sense. Another movie that looks to get pushed is The Color Purple, but who cares about The Color Purple? I can't believe they've remade The Color Purple. And apparently it's a musical. I think I heard that. Weird. The funny thing as well about this Aquaman reshoot is there's no indication that it's going to remove Amber Heard. Which is ridiculous. But what they have done is cut Ben Affleck, his cameo. And let's not forget, his cameo was to replace Michael Keaton's cameo. So this just gets crazier. So the tumultuous production of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is seemingly not done with its changes just yet. There has been plenty of speculation over Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom in the last year, and the year before that, and the year before that. Whether it has been the ongoing saga of how big Amber Heard's role is in the movie, to reports of major rewrites and multiple Batmen being involved in what could turn out to be Jason Momoa's last time out as the Aqua superhero. Well, we know that it's his last outing because for all intents and purposes it looks like he's probably going to be moving forward in the DCU as Lobo. So in a new report by The Hollywood Reporter around the huge overhaul the movie has gone through, including its potential derailing amount of reshoots, it has been suggested that the planned cameo appearance by Ben Affleck as what would likely be his last ever appearance as Bruce Wayne / Batman have been completely removed at the request of James Gunn and Peter Safran. Don't forget, Peter Safran is the guy who has stood by Amber Heard and who told the fans when she lost the trial and the petition blew up to have her removed. He's the guy who went, we don't bow to fan pressure. So according to report, an insider called the whole Aquaman reshoot chaotic and alleged that Gunn and Safran wanted all traces of Affleck cut to, check this out, to prevent teases for future films that will not be made, as well as trying to distance themselves from the failure of the DCEU's final year. While this does make sense in many ways, especially thinking back to how Zack Snyder's Justice League ending only rallied up fans for over what could have been, this change could well do nothing more than ensure the movie is being set up to fail this December. And that's the thing. Now we've got confirmation that James Gunn once again has put his fingerprints all over the remaining movies to have them fail. And it's interesting. He wants everything that could tease setups of the previous regime's movies gone. You know what's a previous regime movie? Blue Beetle. You know what James Gunn has decided to do to try and prop this movie up? Say it's going to actually be a part of the DCU. It's not. It's a DCEU movie. But he wants to now say Blue Beetle will be the first character in the DCU, which would mean Blue Beetle is the first DCU movie, you moron. But that movie is going to tank at the box office, thanks to the actors now coming out and spouting out their immigration BS narrative that the movie really delves into, the director pissing every comic book fan off with his, well, my work here is done, by pissing off Batman fans with his whole Batman is a fascist line, and the fact that the movie just looks garbage. And not to mention, no one has a clue who the hell Blue Beetle is. But you want to try and put that in. Well, guess what, James? Here's the thing. If this is the case, if Blue Beetle will be the first, and you don't want any connection to the failure of this year's movies, well, you're shit out of luck, pal, because Blue Beetle is going to be a disaster. It's going to crater at the box office. So you're starting off your new regime, your new DCU, with an absolute failure. Well done, genius. And we know Aquaman 2, of course, has just been a disaster. We know they filmed it, showed it, audiences went, this is terrible. They reshot it. Then they reshot it again. Then they handed it to test screeners again, and half the audiences walked out of the screening. They didn't even watch all of it. They just got up and left. They're like, nope. That's it. I'm out. And Amber Heard's role in it apparently grew. It went from like 5 minutes to 20 minutes. Then we get word that Zaslav himself was shown it and just went, what is this? Fix that. Then they were reshooting it that much that it got to the point where Zaslav just said, you're getting no more money. If you want to reshoot it, you're doing it on your own time. Or we're not funding any more into this garbage. And now they're started to reshoot it, and they get shut down because of the writer's strike and the actor's strike. And now it's confirmed that James Gunn has cut the Ben Affleck cameo appearance out of it. And this is the second movie that Ben Affleck has been cut out of the end sequence, as he was cut out of the end sequence for The Flash. There's images now from that of him in that same body armored suit from the bike scene at the beginning of The Flash, only it's not blue and grey, it's black and grey with a silver bat symbol in the middle. And apparently it was going to set up Crisis on Infinite Earths, and it got scrapped in the end. But there you go, James Gunn screwing everything up once again. Just can't leave things alone, especially things that had nothing to do with him. And of course, the movies look like it's going to get pushed again. This movie was filmed and ready apparently in 2019. Is it 2019, 2020? It's now 2023 and they're pushing it to 2024. We're looking at a 4-year delay on this movie. And they're going to release it and it's going to tank. And it's going to be unbelievable to see a movie, the sequel to a $1 billion making movie, probably fail to even hit 400 million. What a joke. Anyway, with that, I'll leave it there for this one. So cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.